In part 3 of our Live and Let Die 50th anniversary celebration, we look at the Allies and the music. Right, Harry, no Q, discuss.
I assume you've picked me. Well, I don't know, but I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm far more forgiving of it than a lot of people seem to be. I don't think it needed to not have Q at all. I don't think. Oh yeah, they need to have a break from Q, anything like that. But I don't think it stops it being a James Bond film. I don't think it leaves a big hole or anything like that. Yeah, I have no criticism of it at all. I'd be happy if he was in it, but I'm not thinking. I'm not going through every scene. Oh, crumbs! It's half an hour. Still not been accused. 45. Still not been accused. It was near the end now. It's not been accused. It's not. It was not. It's fine. Absolutely fine by me for this one film. Or for
I'm desperate for this to be on a T-shirt. Crumbs, there's not been accused.
Yes, Rob, do it. So niche.
You made me think.
I suppose you don't realise, do you, when you watch it, because there's so many.
I wonder if it's another reason. Again, that I say this feels like it feels like a sort of slightly different Roger Moore film. It's Roger Moore films and Live and Let Die, and here's another reason. It's grounded in reality, the whole film. And
there's no M's office, is there? Or is there M's office?
Larger than life Q scene, and I don't mind at all. I'm completely with you. I'm perfectly happy to have one film without Q. That's my limit. But I think it works fine. It would be weird to just cram him in. I mean, what's it going to provide? I suppose it could have turned up with something, but it doesn't. I absolutely love Desmond Llewellyn as Q, but no, I don't miss it. But again, I think it's another reason that this film feels different to all the other Roger Moore Bond.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Q.
All the other Bond films in general, I would say, Steve. I think it's really out on its own.
Some of you guys have previously said this, that one of the reasons it does work, or it isn't too much of an issue, is because they don't disregard gadgets. There's still gadgets in it.
It's not a shunning of Q or gadgets. It's
It's just because they went round to his house.
Time.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, is there a scene in M's office? Or is that the only M scene?
No.
It's the only M scene.
So even it lacks all that, doesn't it?
Bond's apartment, it's Skyfall again. Very similar.
Yeah, because that's the only place where Q's mentioned, isn't it? Because Moneypenny gives him the watch, saying it's from Q's.
Yeah.
Giving him this watch.
And we assume that Q made the coffee machine. I do, anyway. I don't.
Yeah.
Is that all it does?
It's so funny. Guy Hamilton, like.
I don't think they'd fund that.
Yeah.
Waste of government resources.
Public purse.
Fancy coffee machine.
Can you imagine, like, the conversation we had with John Richardson? So, John, you made these gadgets. How did you make the coffee machine?
That's just that's larger than life.
Oh, dear me. I'm not ready to do a John Richardson impression yet, but it'll come. Don't worry. Think of Guy Hamilton, like, well, what an amazing reception. The first proper massive Q scene with Desmond Llewellyn, the ejector seat, and then Dam's off forever. Yeah, Q's out, he's in the field, he comes to Las Vegas, and then Guy, we haven't had a Q scene. I use that. I don't,
Not this time.
Yeah, don't want it.
Not today.
Want it. And then he gets told off the whole film, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
No, I agree. I think it's not done for any deliberate reason, or we're trying to strip back Bond or anything like that. I think it is because there's no time. Like he's in his apartment, he's got to go straight away, and then that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Q had come round as well to the apartment, that wouldn't have.
Yeah, Moneypenny being there is already a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is straying too much from the formula for me.
Yeah. Maybe Q was in the car. You don't know. Q might have been in the back seat, like, Q, just stay. Stay.
Can I, as Chris isn't here, can I just throw in the Doctor Who geekdom at this point? Because it's the radio transmitter that Roger Moore uses. He later sold to Doctor Who to use in a Tom Baker.
Really?
Right. Here we go.
Yeah, the story is Roger Moore was on a visit for some reason to the BBC. I don't know if he was appearing on a chat show or if he was in something they were filming. And he somehow got chatting to the Doctor Who guys. Obviously, that show was huge at the time with Tom Baker. He had the radio transmitter from Live and Let Die with him. And the props guy was basically, we need to make something like that for this scene we're doing. And Roger Moore did a deal and sold it to them. And I just think, Roger Moore's a very wealthy film star. What on earth was he going to get for a low budget show like Doctor Who for for a prop.
Yeah.
Why sell it? I just can't imagine why he sold it for. It must have been such a small amount of money. And but he did. I've heard Roger Moore tell the story, and you can see it in this Revenge of the Cyberman Doctor Who story. It's the same radio transmitter.
Oh. I did not know that, Steve. That's brilliant.
Yeah, very good.
The best gadgets, yes. Well, you mentioned Chris. Chris loves a good radio transmitter, doesn't he? In Skyfall,
yes,
the biggest. Anyway, okay, we'll go on to Felix first, because to many people, David Hedison is, well, to Rob certainly, and many others, he's the number one Felix, and he makes a great impression in this film, I think.
Couldn't agree more. I just love Hedison totally. I think his warmness. What I love very much about this Felix is that he's seen with two separate James Bonds across over a decade. You know, like it's I'm awful with maths. What is it? Nearly 16 years. 16 years.
Yeah, it is 16.
Yeah. That's outstanding, isn't it? That just and to see their affection. But also, Hedison is obviously a jolly good actor, isn't he? You know, like to be able to maintain that warmth of character across 16 years and two different incarnations of his opposite. I just think he's lovely. I think everything about him is everything I'd want from a Felix Leiter. He's competent, he's warm, he's gracious, he's ingratiating, he's fun, he's funny, and you root for him. And you buy their relationship more than anything else. Yeah. You know, I buy that they're friends. And I think that's probably helped because the fact that they are friends. They were friends in real life, weren't they? Hedison and Moore. So yeah, I think as time has gone, you know, I'd love for something to change this, but at the moment, he will always be my definitive Felix Leiter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just wished he'd have been in more Roger Moore's Bond films. Actually,
this is the only Felix appearance, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's he's the only Felix Leiter to me that I genuinely believe has warmth towards James Bond more than any. You just see a natural friendship, and he delivers it with Moore, and he delivers it with Dalton. I actually think, particularly in Live and Let Die, I think there's a confidence in his performance. Hedison was already quite a big star at the time, wasn't he, on TV? So I guess he had plenty of confidence coming into it. And as you say, he was friends with Roger Moore, and obviously Roger was probably nervous, so it was good for him to have a pal around. And I bet that really meant a lot to Roger as well on that shoot. And you just see this incredible warmth. And as you say, everything you said, Rob, I mean, he's the definitive one for me. No one's ever topped. I can't see anyone could ever top him as Felix.
Yeah. And also the link between, you know, the novel Live and Let Die, License to Kill, and him losing the. I don't know whether that was deep in the thinking.
It's a really interesting link there.
Yeah.
Well, my brother David, when we went watching it at the cinema last year, he's on the post chart thing that we sent in. All his thing was about how Live and Let Die and License to Kill complement each other. About like, you know, how they're both drugs, you know, they're based around drug smuggling stories, the sharks. You know, there
wasn't a Baron Samedi Joe Butcher link.
There was, but I don't know. I can't remember what it is, and I'm not going to try and remember.
Leader, I think.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah,
who's covering up the drug enterprise?
Yeah. Well, there it is. Yeah,
it was a really convincing argument.
Yeah. Do you know if anyone has ever asked John Glenn or anyone on any podcasts or whatever why they didn't go to John Terry again, having just cast him with Dalton?
Oh yeah,
it is. It's such an interesting. It seems very deliberate.
Because I don't think John Terry's anything particularly great, but he doesn't really have anything to do. So I don't.
No.
And I can't, you know, I've not seen other things, but he's been in quite a lot of other stuff. So
he's a good actor.
I think for the continuity's sake, it would have been good to have him.
Yeah. So I wonder. I mean,
to develop that Dalton relationship.
It probably would have cemented his role into it as well. That would have been a good vehicle for him.
But casting Hedison for License to Kill is like that second wave of thinking. I'm only speaking for myself here. That second wave of thinking that I couldn't have thought of that worked so well. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh wow, actually that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You've done something bigger there that I hadn't conceived myself.
I almost think it's like this. I've never thought about this before, but it's even sadder that because he's obviously quite a bit older than Della, that he's he's finally settled down after a really
yeah. It built.
He's probably not. He might not have kids. He might not have a family. This is finally his retirement, and it's just all taken away from him.
That's a really
don't make me cry for.
I know I'm going to go.
Please, dear me.
Yeah.
I'd love, just to hark back to John Terry slightly. I wonder if there's, like some immense set of, Living Daylight's diary somewhere where he was revealed to be an on-set monster. We can't have that. The guy is just like, he's an animal, this fella. We can't have it back.
Well, his name's it. Yeah.
Going to sleep with the wife of one of the other actors.
I was going to say yes. Exactly.
Oh dear. We keep
That's
saying
not an accusation for legal reasons. That is not an accusation. It's just we're having a chat.
Yeah. Right, here we go. Best allies, the sheriff's in town. Come on.
He's not an ally.
He's not an ally. He's not an ally. He made it in 12 episodes.
An ally by circumstance, John. Yeah. He's. No, I'll leave others to talk about him.
Bob, please. What was he popular at the time? Surely.
No.
Swift response.
I never liked his character from the first scene right to the end of Man with the Golden Gun.
Is that because is it too silly, or is it just taken?
Yes, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's because you would never. Obviously, Bond would never want to be associated with him. He's too brash, but he does love a little elephant.
Yeah.
Well, his wife does anyway. No, I never ever warmed to him. I really didn't.
But Bond cannot stand him, can he?
No,
I know. Golden Gun.
Yeah.
Absolutely hates the guy.
Yeah.
He does. His face when he's in the car with him. Like,
yeah.
I love because I would have automatically put him in the allies category, maybe because that's how his character finishes up. But actually, he starts off as a tier Z villain, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's an antagonist. He is going,
He's using an ornament to anybody at the start, but he's I don't know. I think so much of this is probably clouded by certain members of my family who are older than me quoting him endlessly. Secret agent, loving quoting him.
On whose side?
Yeah, very good.
That's why.
So you do love him, Bob?
There's a son of a bitch I got. What are you? Some kind of doomsday machine, boy? Well, we got a cage strong enough to hold an animal like you here.
Captain, would you enlighten the sheriff, please?
Yes, sir. J.W., let me have a word with you. J.W., now this fella's from London, England. He's an Englishman working in cooperation with our boys, a sort of secret agent.
Secret agent? On whose side?
By the end, because he is he's got a quite consistent character arc, really. It's all logical. It makes sense that he finds out he's a secret agent, then they bump into each other in the other side of the world, and he wants to support him again. So makes total sense. In James Bond Top Trumps, he's a strong card for me. But
I love him. I love him.
Yeah, I love him. I love him.
I've got no problem, and I do love him. But I understand why you might not like him, though. I'll give that too.
When I was a kid, I just loved cars crashing. And it's probably because my mum crashed a lot of cars and it was a family thing. But so I used to love Smokey and the Bandit and Cannonball Run and all those things. And he fits perfectly into that thing, isn't he? So as a kid, I absolutely thought he was just a brilliant character. And we start this, and we all know, we all think, oh, he looked down on him a bit. And then there we are quoting his lines.
Love him,
because the lines are so funny, and he does deliver them well. And I was just reading about the actor. He's actually from the north of America.
Yeah.
He grew up in New York. So he's an actor.
Great.
accent, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He pulls off that stereotypical southern sheriff brilliantly. I think he's better in this than in the Golden Gun. I think they tried to milk it a bit too much in that Golden Gun,
Really?
but I still quite enjoy him in that. But I think he's brilliant.
I know what John's going to say now.
I love him in the Golden Gun. He's a Burke, but he's an absolute legend of a Burke.
Oh, Rob, does he remind you of Fran a bit? Is that kind of
This absolutely can't go into the course. It absolutely can't go into the course.
Especially in Live and Let Die, in the car, that kind of behaviour and all. Yeah. Oh dear.
I tell you what does, like, I do often find myself saying, if anyone ever overtakes me, I can't help going like, "Are you some kind of doomsday machine, boy?" Yeah, pull off the road. There's endless material for that. No, I think it's super quotable, actually. And I think, like, sometimes it's a very Spielberg thing, actually, isn't it? To have those moments of levity in a big car chase or a big action sequence or whatever. He just happens to bring an awful lot of levity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just love the guy to pieces.
I do love the utter confusion on his face when he's trying to take control of the situation, and then the boat comes flying over into the car, and he's going like this.
What a guy!
Like the other policeman almost like treating like a child has to set like explain to this guy, and I know he's going to cry, when he finds out, because it's just what.
Yeah, and obviously Billy Bob,
Billy Bob.
Is it El Show else?
He's an English sick name.
Is it an oyster farmer who drives past them? It's just so good.
Oh yeah,
I think if regardless of whether you think it should be in the film or not, surely everyone agrees that it is unbelievably well executed comedy. It is perfectly done.
That's what it's meant to.
Yeah. Great dialogue, great scenes, his interactions, the role he plays, everyone, the joke is on him. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And you know what? There's a moment of subtlety with him. And that is when Bond breaks through the blockade and, just smashes straight through in the boat. And then the sheriff arrives and sees his deputy getting out the water, and you expect him to say something. And he doesn't say anything. He just kind of looks at him and just shakes his head. And it's like, it would have been so easy to just throw another line. It's funnier that he doesn't. And he just, See, there's even subtlety in his performance.
Because he's like, John Glenn would love this kind of character.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have him for like
give him that much
minutes. He'd just be a passerby, wouldn't he? And just quickly deal with him
with a pigeon on his shoulder.
Yeah. But it's the same character, but done in an instant, isn't it?
Yeah,
Flicker or something.
JW.
What a guy.
JW.
Fantastic.
Where are you?
What? I mean, again, what? Such a weird film, and then he's in it.
I love it.
In all our discussion, when you brought him up, I got a real surprise. When you brought him up, I'd forgotten. We haven't even talked about him.
Yeah.
I suppose you've not got Q, who's often there for a bit of comic relief. Well, you really don't need it, do you, when you've got W. Pepper in there?
Oh dear.
So
right,
good.
So we will go on now to I think we're all agreed. The song is, it's either in the top one or the top two, isn't it? Probably most people's James Bond song list.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love that story behind it. That first of all they got George Martin involved, and then was it Harry Saltzman who said, "Oh, well, who have you got for the song?" Well, Paul, obviously. Like, not sure.
Yeah, no, they were played the Paul McCartney recording.
He recorded it, and he was saying, "Yeah, it's a good song, but who we're going to get to sing?" And he goes, "You've got a Beatle."
I know. It's so funny. Some of these.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to say, if they'd have gone along with a lot of Harry's ideas, I don't think it'd be anywhere near as successful as what it has been.
Didn't he? He hated was it Goldfinger, the song? Thought it was absolute rubbish, I think.
Diamonds. He didn't like diamonds.
Yeah.
Diamonds.
Hold it, touch it, feel it.
Yeah.
He said it's pornographic.
Yeah.
Well,
He
yeah.
got it right, didn't he? He wanted the clown scene in Octopussy. It wasn't number one, but it must have been a massive hit at the time. I mean, presumably people.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it as well as the song. I think the titles absolutely fit perfectly.
Yeah.
With the skulls and the fire and the sparks, it's fantastic. Yeah, that really did appeal to me at the time. I was listening to Wings at the time because I think Band on the Run had just got to number one. The album as well as the single. And I got the LP of Band on the Run, so I was really aware of Paul McCartney and Wings. That's probably what drew me into it as well.
If you're worried about we've got a new actor, we're getting Paul McCartney to do the song. I know Harry was bothered about that, but that's quite a big.
Yeah, I think it went a long way.
Oh yeah.
What on earth did you have to do to get a number one in those days?
Yeah.
If this wasn't number one.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's too big a question to answer, but
you don't. It's not all on you to answer.
Yeah. but could you at least say, even though it wasn't number one, the nation was slightly captivated by it, was it? Or
yes, I think they were. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it got to number 9 here in the UK and number 2 in America. Sold 1 million copies in America. I mean, and you got to remember that back then, getting to the top 10 here was massive. Now, three singles and a bag of peanuts, and you're in the top 10. But back then, it was a massive dip to get in the top 10.
It's Oscar as well now as well.
It's criminal. The singles, the title songs. It's criminal that nothing has really done huge up until Adele. I mean, even Duran Duran within the top 10, were they?
Yeah, they got to number 1 in America, A View to a Kill.
In America,
yeah. I think it got to 2 here. I think it got to number 2.
Yeah.
I think Sam Smith was the first number 1 here.
Yeah, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
How memorable.
It was.
I'm going to say, looking at my experience at the time, I mean, obviously I'd seen Golden Gun, but I didn't think anything of George Martin's music not being right. It fit perfect.
Yeah.
And even now, I absolutely idolise John Barry. There's absolutely nothing wrong with George Martin. I just wished he'd have done another one.
Definitely.
One of my favourite scores of any terrific theme track, but the whole score is just absolutely brilliant and fits that film perfectly.
It does. Yeah. It does. Yeah. I can remember off the LP, the track that really hit me, and I kept playing. It was the San Monique track. It was fabulous. Yeah. That one. Yeah,
really melodic, isn't it? And
very melodic.
That sort of added action theme that's in it, like the.
I think it's best used in the first car chase as well.
Yeah.
Where you see the setup of him shooting the driver,
Charlie,
with the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie. Yeah.
That's another great scene, isn't it?
Yeah. Great ally.
Yeah.
Hey, easy, Charlie. Let's get there in one piece. Charlie.
One of the things with the Live and Let Die score as well, score and song is, and I personally think that Barry was inspired by this for Man with the Golden Gun is the instrumental bit in Live and Let Die is just perfect for the use of action in the film.
Yeah,
it's like, so when your action kicks in, it comes in, and it's almost like I genuinely think that Barry was inspired by that when he gets the Golden Gun and it's definitely. It's like that inspiration. Let's find a little musical cue that kicks action in.
That's McCartney who's written that. I mean,
exactly.
Don't underrate. I don't think he did many film scores, because this is just. But do a Bond song, all right. It's so much of it is instrumental.
But this Bond score, this Bond song is like nothing, no other Bond song before it, is it?
No.
It's a rock and roll song with a bit of reggae in the middle, and and then like some music. Action music. I mean, it's a culmination of ideas, really. It could quite easily have been on the White Album. It's that kind of Beatles kind of thing. It's amazing.
I have to admit that I didn't like it for years growing up, because and I'll be completely honest, it was because I didn't understand it. I still don't know whether I understand it now, but actually, I certainly appreciate it now.
Do you mean how it switches moods and stuff?
It's like all sorts of different moods. I've got to be really honest, I've never been a big fan of McCartney's voice. I'm so sorry.
On the song, in general,
just in general, actually, I'm afraid. But that's
so you're with Harry Saltzman then?
Well, no, I'm an unlikely ally, perhaps. Like J.W. Pepper.
I think.
No, I think I was just misunderstood, because listening to the song, obviously. In the last 5 to 10 years, it's just an outstanding journey. That's with a grandstanding finish. It's outstanding, and I've done a full 180 on it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of McCartney's voice, Rob. I'm with you on that. But on this song, I love it.
Yeah.
One of those singers who I always think's about to go out of tune and actually like he quite often does. But on that, it's phenomenal.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, I agree.
He's never going to be one of the, what a voice. He's such an unbelievable songwriter. That's I know John will probably compare him to Noel Gallagher in that respect, maybe. But
I love Noel Gallagher, but there's no comparison between McCartney and Noel Gallagher.
I think it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it is. I think
beyond Bond. It's so good that they went for an exciting Bond song, which we haven't had for ages. Well. But it's just unbelievable. And I think when we were discussing it a couple of years ago now with Matt Kanzik on one of the Songbook episodes, we said that there's almost an element of Bohemian Rhapsody to it, in that there's these different things going on, and it's like, I don't know whether there's not. It almost slows down and starts up, and so it's just an absolutely tremendous piece of music that, still gets played on the radio now, and he still does it when he's performing live.
And bands like to cover it, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, of course.
And obviously it's sung in the film.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously Guns N' Roses do, don't they?
Bond going to Guns N' Roses playing in a New Orleans bar.
By the way, that bar, how many lifts and swiveling and things got? I mean, that building's amazing.
Yeah.
Trying to do right. That I do love the version of it in the film. I think.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a full length 3.5-minute version of it that I could hear her sing the whole. Because I think even on the soundtrack, her version is just and then it's just instrumental. It goes
No, it's not.
Electric guitar.
It's the first Bond pop song, isn't it, for a title? They'd all been ballads and
but
it's the first pop song. It changed what they thought they could do with the Bond title.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because there you go. You see, if you stick with the same geniuses all the time, you'll still get brilliant Bond songs. But it took someone who is a genius, but completely outside, who's almost bigger than Bond, to think, sorry, this is what I think a Bond song should be like. And I can't believe it's only A bit like Bohemian Rhapsody. You think it must be about 6 minutes long. This song, there's so much in it, but it's only about 3 minutes, isn't it? I couldn't believe it when I played it recently. It was all over fairly quickly.
That's all for part 3 of our Live and Let Die 50th anniversary celebration. But join us for the 4th and final part.